Hello and welcome to Politics Today. I'm Farooq Patafi. Yesterday we talked about local government ordinance, not ordinance, bill in Punjab. Today we are going to continue the same discussion. We will try to explore the various aspects of it, how it will be implemented and what exactly is going to happen in coming days in Punjab. And not only that, we are also going to talk about certain very important aspects regarding economic policy as well, especially when you talk about petroleum prices and how that is going to affect the country. Remember, today was the first fast of the month of Ramzan. In Ramzan, usually inflation touches the sky. We are going to ask today also how government actually plans to control prices in such a situation where we are trying to actually stabilize the economy as well, and we are trying to do very strong reforms in this country as well. In order to help us understand these issues, we are joined by Mohammad Ibrahim Khan Sahab, who is MNA of ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Next to him is Naseem Siddiqui Sahab, a journalist, a senior journalist, needs no introduction, a regular on this show. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Next to him is Raja Faisal Sahab. Used to appear in this program, then he disappeared for a bit, and now he's back. He is also an analyst. Thank you very much for being part of the program. I have to start with you, Ibrahim Sahab, and I have to ask you, what is the timeline and how do you plan to implement the local government bill that you have passed in Punjab?
Approximately a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens till then?
Till then, we have to
have administrators
and get things streamlined, because this is first time in the history of Pakistan that the real power has been brought down to the grassroots level, and devolution of power. I mean, in Musharraf's era, yes, there was a very sincere effort into it, but the way our government has done, it's like done an excellent job, like going to the village councils, and they will receive all the benefits of it, and the people will be empowered.
Right. Now the question here is that you're talking about election in after 1 year. And right now, there were elected bodies at the local government level, and you have done away with them before their term. Now, people will say that whatever will happen after 1 year will happen. But today, you have essentially actually cut down on the local government.
We did that because there were so many lacunas and the pilferages in the system, that it was only working as a wastage of money and national resources.
Okay.
So in order to avert that and bring in a system where the money can directly go to the people, and they can take the ownership and they can take the leadership, and it's really an excellent, I was just reading an article about it. I mean, they were saying, like, people are talking about sending Nawaz Sharif to jail, and the people talking about different subjects. Nobody has even talked about this local government system that Khan Sahib has been able to evolve.
Right. And we, as we progress later in the program, we are going to talk about Mian Nawaz Sharif as well. But let us first focus on the local government. Siddiqui Sahab, your take on the local government act of Punjab.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Farooq. As you have seen that KPK government, which was before in KPK, Provincial Assembly, and then they made a local government bill over there. They made some changes over there, and that was very much successful. And that's why PTI won the second term as well in that province. So bringing down the power like in local government would be beneficial for the people, because the poor people, the people in the villages, they have got so many problems in their areas, and the MPs and MNAs are not supposed to sort out those things. So if this devolution of power will give access to the poor people, to the voters, that they can go directly to the councillors. And if the councillors have given budget, as it has said that they will be given the money and the mayor will be deciding his cabinet, they will be collecting the revenue as well. That looks like a good roadmap. If it works, then we'll have to see
If
that.
it works.
If it works.
It's a huge caveat though.
Yeah.
Why do you say if it works?
Because we have got too many experiments in Pakistan we have seen, and sometimes they are successful, sometimes it is not successful.
Yeah.
But this roadmap looks very good if it has been worked as it
No,
has
but
been
you
given.
realize you are right about experiments, but this level of government is actually a jinxed one. In the past, whenever you had any kind of local government, it was folded up very soon.
But you know, whenever there is military governments, they gave power to the municipalities, and whenever there are these democratic governments, they don't.
The so-called democratic.
Yes, so-called democratic. So whenever in the military governments they have given the powers to the municipalities, they have performed. If you can
What are
see,
you saying then?
No.
What do you mean by that?
But if this is a good roadmap, if they have decided, like if you can see that even in Karachi, when there was Musharraf's government and powers was given to the mayor of Karachi, Mustafa Kamal, he did very nicely over there. And
Before
that
Mustafa Kamal,
experiment-
there was a mayor from Jamaat-e-Islami as well.
He did
And
very well as
delivered
well. Yeah, he
as well.
delivered. Then Farooq Sattar a little bit, but in the era of Mustafa Kamal, he delivered a lot. So that experiment was very good. So if the power has been given to the local authorities, I think that would be good for the people of
Right.
Pakistan.
Why 1 year? Why not 2 months, 3 months?
Now or
Yeah.
onwards?
No, I'm talking about the timeline. It will take 1 year to actually hold the next election.
Actually, the bill has been passed, and I think they need that much time to allow the whole of that to perform that one.
Yeah, takes up.
I think they are expecting some of the political parties, they would be coming against it as well. They will be going to the courts. So this is the reason that they are having a time frame, a time frame which can be easily enough for implementation. But here I would
So
like to...
they have thought that maybe the opposition will go to the courts.
Yes.
And that's why they have allowed the time it will, in their mind, take for the litigation to
Exactly.
complete.
Exactly.
Is it what you're saying?
They want to actually, implement it with the full consent and with full authority.
What happens if it continues beyond 1 year, the litigation?
I think it shouldn't do.
No, shouldn't is not within your and my hands, right?
That is something which is actually in the hands of judiciary and in the hands of
Exactly.
the government.
Exactly.
They have to think about it. One very important thing
So
is
that is a factor you cannot factor in because
Yeah.
you don't know how it is going to actually.
it is not only about the opposition parties, the existing opposition parties in the Punjab Assembly. There is another factor. We should not be negating it. Chaudhry Nisar, he's against it as well, and he has quite a lot influence within the Punjab, especially when it comes to GT Road. And I think MPs from there, they do listen to him time to time. One very important thing which I want to add to whatever my senior colleague he has put in here, in Musharraf era, what we saw was the municipalities, they were given the charge, and it was effective, but not to that extent. I think it would be a bit different when what I see it from this bill. It would be a bit different from that one. Why? Because the power would actually go towards the grassroots level, where the councillors, municipalities, they were the cities. Cities were controlling
the village councils and tehsils,
the village
right?
councils and the.
That's a good idea.
That's a very
but
good
then
idea.
how do you devolve two main powers, administrative power and police power?
That is where the problem would be popping up. Why? Because the previous democratic parties, they have been giving all of the powers to the bureaucracy, which was not effective enough. And now...
Shehbaz Sharif's model was one-man rule.
Exactly.
And then he used to have task forces.
I think
right?
rather than pushing all of the powers towards the local government, they should be creating a balance between both of them. We should not be negating the factor that the people who are actually serving our bureaucracy and administration, they are not someone we should not be putting trust on. They are able people, they are...
That's true.
Yeah.
But a policeman has to answer to somebody. Who
Yeah.
is he going to answer to? The Prime Minister, the Chief Minister, or the Mayor, or the village council chairman?
Well, a system would, when the system is in place, then of course the things would be carried out through a proper channel. When it comes to directly the bureaucracy, it would be coming under the Punjab government, and Punjab government would be looking after them.
Even
And
under
then-
the mayor as well.
Exactly.
It used to be.
So, my Thana SHO
Yeah.
is going to be reporting to Punjab government.
They should be. Why
so
not?
who's going to, how do I take care of my local matters? Through my local representatives.
Well, the local representatives, of course, they would be having an influence within the society they are living in, and their influence would be a political influence. And that's what we call the sharing of the power. And power would be actually reaching towards
So
them.
you want to add to this, sir?
I do want to add to this. Basically, what's going to happen is the district administration and the police, they will be working as it is within the parameters of the districts.
Okay.
But within the parameter of the districts, they will be interacting now with the Tehsil Nazims, I mean, and the village
Chairmans, yeah.
chairmans, and so it'll be a little different than dealing with the district Nazim. They will be
Define
dealing on a very-
interaction. You said they will
Define-
be interacting with them. How?
Yes.
In what capacity?
in a capacity whenever there is a law and order situation.
They'll take
The
orders
SHO is
from-
not the SHO is not supposed to take orders from the Punjab government. Yes, Punjab government
do.
ultimately, but actually from his district police officer. So this is it will work exactly the same way, and we have just brought it down to a smaller constituencies where maximum people can participate in this, and the people can be empowered on a grassroots level. This is what it is, and the administrative part of it with regards to police and district management will work as it is, and they will be answerable to the Punjab government.
So, will you agree with me that this might not be construed as true empowerment of the local governments then? Because they don't have the control on policing powers.
No. Police is, police is there when there is some law and order situation.
Yeah.
Police is there to protect you.
Somebody robs my house, I have to go to police.
Yes, you have
And
to go to
SHO
police.
is not listening to me. I cannot go to Karachi, Islamabad, or
No, not at
Lahore.
all, not at all.
So I have to go to my
your
Tehsil Nazim.
that is your Tehsil Nazim.
Right.
So it's a lot easier to be in touch with your Tehsil Nazim than
And
to
the
be in
SHO
touch
is not,
with your.
Sir, that is true, but SHO is not reporting to him. So why would he listen to Tehsil Nazim?
Because the district, this whole system which we have evolved basically, there comes in the provincial government.
Okay.
If somebody is not listening, they are answerable, and the provincial government will be performing their duties as a state, like in the United States. Different states have their duties.
Yeah,
So the
but
MPs
sheriffs are usually locally appointed, right? By the mayor.
by the mayor.
And or otherwise elected
Well,
also
they
in
have
certain
the
cases.
presidential form of government, but here we
Yeah,
have.
but we are talking about
yes,
the local
yeah,
government, right?
Right, right.
So what happens to policing then?
Exactly, the police will be under the provincial governments. They will be reporting to provincial governments. But in the past, I have seen that the councillors, they have very good rapport with the SHOs of their areas, and there would be one mayor as well. So
Okay.
they work under mayor as well, because last time when I've seen that,
They'll have two bosses.
yeah, they have two bosses. Yes, mayor is a boss, one boss as well on policing.
That
they
would
have
be
to listen to
recipe,
it.
yeah,
They,
recipe
they
for
have to
disaster.
listen to the councillors, because most your concern is absolutely right that most of the cases they all are linked with police. People have problem with police. They cannot go
Thana,
there.
kachari,
Yes.
sadkein,
Yes.
roads,
Yes.
gali mohalle,
All right.
naliyan.
Yeah, but the councillors, I have seen in the past that they have got very good relations with the local administration, and people are at ease to go to the councillor and tell them about their problem, because Councillor is always accessible as compared to MPs or MNAs because they are busy in the assembly sessions
Yeah, and
or somewhere else.
technically MNAs and MPAs
They
don't
are-
have the executive power, right?
Yeah.
So while you address them, but in the end, through them, you're reaching to the chief executive of the province or the center, right?
Yeah.
That means that they will be vessels,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They will be your sifarish. Very indirect kind of approach has been there for quite some time. And one was hoping that it will be reversed. If it is not reversed, then councillors, MNAs, MPAs won't be able to help us.
No, they can help. They have to make a law as well. Like Prime Minister has made that portal for civilians,
Yeah.
and you have seen that somebody complained few days ago, and some of the CDA officers they have been suspended from their job. So if they make some system like that as well, as they have made FIR online, they can put FIR online as well.
Yeah.
So they have to review the systems as well, all with that one, and then they have to empower.
Nobody is actually doubting the conviction or capability of the central government, not even the provincial government. The question only is of access, as you have pointed out very articulately.
Yeah.
If I am a nobody, a common man, I am a common man, but if I have some problem in my gully mohalla and SHOs are not answerable indirectly to me, the problem then is that I won't be able to demand the kind of oversight or support that I need. They will be answerable to me when they are answerable to my directly elected representative, and that won't be the CM.
But if there is a serious matter, and if there is a layman, a poor man, he don't have any approach, but at least he has got a vote. He will go to his mohalla or whatever, and the head of that area, they will approach to the councillor. If that matter is not been sorted out by him, then councillor can go to the mayor. Then step by step they can go up and they can get it relieved.
Ibrahim Sahab.
My stance is this is two way to go about it. One, that we are empowering the village council. Village council means they will have their own complete setup. If the SHO is not listening, he will be directly approaching his Tehsil Nazim. Okay, this is what's happening. And as a result of this village council, the villagers are also empowered because now they have got the money and they know where to spend it, and they have more awareness about their rights. And I think this will contribute more towards the efficiency of the police and the district management. And just in case if they don't, then we as a provincial government has the right and the authority to amend the laws where these people can be, even in my personal opinion, they should be even more accountable to.
Okay. Now, another question for you before I go to Faisal. The question, sir, is about revenue generation.
Sure.
How do you think are the local governments going to generate their revenue?
Okay, this is how it is. It will start simply from the Tehsil Council.
Right.
Tehsil Council will be able to levy their own taxes. They'll be given 1/3 of the total national NFC award. And to begin it with, they will be having a handsome amount in their hands to spend, which will be a first-time experience
Right.
for them. And then they can levy taxes according to their situation, where they have crop growing, or they have industrial area, or they have, I mean, every, the Tehsil chairman or the Tehsil
Nazim, call him.
Nazim has the authority to look into the issues where he can manage to gather maximum money and spend it on the people.
Yeah, but if you remember, there was a huge debate, and I think you were here as well, when we were talking about 18th Amendment. And the argument that was being given in those days was that 18th Amendment, by devolving the revenue collection to a great level to the provinces, has actually made Pakistan a confederation rather than a federation. Are we not adding to that burden by creating a third tier of NFC?
You see, that I have a lot of reservations on that, the 18th Amendment, because that was made for the benefit of the two families. Okay, this one is made for the 22 crore people of Pakistan.
Okay.
So the intention is entirely different, the working will be entirely different, and results will be there. We are very sure. There were a lot of deliberations done on it. The Prime Minister of Pakistan himself got 17 meetings attended.
Presentations.
Yes.
No, that is great. But when we talk about feedback, of course, since it
Sure.
was presented to us now,
Sure.
we have to actually nitpick and study it the way
Absolutely.
we want.
Absolutely.
Faisal, two aspects. Devolution of police power, that is very important. Earlier, many things were said. You can respond to that. And then revenue.
Well, both are very important for any constituency.
I mean, without money, you cannot function.
Exactly.
Without police, you won't have authority.
Exactly. And earlier you were talking about that, who the police should be answerable to. First of all, we should be expecting police to reach to any incident by themselves rather than somebody asking them to, come to that incident.
Police should be an autonomous force then?
It shouldn't be, but this should be part of their duties.
No,
This
but
should be part of their
you
duties.
have to
This is what they're
realize-
there for.
No, that is true. But the overall concept of having elected representatives heading any organization or being the boss of that organization is simple, that people should have oversight. I mean, people should be angels. I agree with that. But are they? Not essentially. So you have to have accountability. Either it will be the Punjab government
Yep.
that will be calling shots through the IG, and everybody will be answerable to that. That would effectively make the local governments very weak because they don't have police, or else they can be reporting to the local level.
Well, to be very fair, in the administration side and in the political side and in the police side, we have good and bad everywhere. We might be having MPAs who are good and MPAs who are bad within PTI, within PMLN, within People's Party, wherever they are. Same is the case with police. There would be policemen who has big question marks on their credibilities. They might be acting as, they should not be. And these sort of policemen, they need to be checked. But at the same time, there would be many constituencies where MPAs, many constituencies where, district management, the lower level councillors, they would be under check as well. Sometimes they would be answerable to law, and we have a force. We have a force which is
Faisal,
called
here's
police.
a very important question for you. You have traveled abroad, lived abroad as well. I'm sure all of us have. When you go to the US, when you go to the European Union or even UK, when you travel there, you realize that the local tier comes so naturally to them. That
Exactly.
their imagination is functioning, accountability is there, everything is awesome. When we come back to our country, why does our imagination stop functioning?
I don't
in
know
planning
why
the
it
local
should-
governments.
It should not. But if you look at you have given a perfect example of the West. Their consuls, you never turn around and ring them for something. They ring you for something which you actually should be having.
No, but you go to your sheriff for help.
Yeah.
And sheriff is accountable because he is appointed by whom? The mayor
The mayor.
of the town.
Yeah.
So he is accountable to you actually.
Exactly, but that would be, I think, in a country like Pakistan, that would be getting police more politicized.
Why?
Reason being, if you have a mayor of a party, he would be actually, it is obvious that he's going for somebody who's out of the merit.
Okay.
You
Siddiqui Sahab.
And about the revenues,
Yeah.
that is very important.
I'm going to
And-
come back to you,
Ah.
but we still have the policing issue that is unresolved. Siddiqui Sahab, if you remember Pervez Musharraf Sahab's time, in those days when we were talking about devolution, there was this talk of bureaucratic pushback because nobody wants to readily give away power. But since Pervez Musharraf Sahab was a strong man, he was a military dictator and the president and army chief and so many other things, that's why maybe the pushback was reduced. The moment he went away and the moment the law came out of Schedule 6, immediately it was changed. and then the local governments were gone. Now the question right now was whether there will be a pushback by the bureaucracy, or, to be honest, the bill that we are seeing is a product of that pushback.
As Faisal said, that we have to depoliticize all these departments like bureaucracy and policing.
Yeah.
Then they will be working in a proper form. Yeah. Otherwise, they will
But you
revert
cannot,
back.
but
As
you
you said,
cannot de-democratize the society, can you? You need a government, a representative. Sir, I'm coming to you.
yeah, definitely we have to, as you were mentioning West, we have seen over there that these local governments, they are political governments as well. Like I was living in England, then they have got labor councillors, conservative councillors, but they've got a very good system. If you are living in a council, that council is your home.
Okay.
You need not to go to the MPA, you need not to go to the president
Absolutely.
or prime minister. That council is generating the revenue as well. They are collecting council tax from you, from
So-
every home. They have to make a data.
Sadiq Khan is the mayor of
Mayor
London,
of
right?
London, yes.
When he is anticipating some kind of disruption in law and order, he is the mayor. He is answerable for the city.
Yeah.
He must call a meeting.
Yeah.
Whom does he call?
He will-
Does he call police? as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, he will call the commissioner, and commissioner will listen to the mayor because that commissioner is working under that London mayor.
Precisely.
Yeah.
My
So-
point really.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's I got your point.
So you have to have a democratically elected boss who is sitting in the very city.
Whatever he is democratically elected without political parties, or the election goes with political parties. Whoever is the mayor or whoever is the administrator, they have to coordinate to solve the problems.
Right.
But for such traditions,
I have to-
we need time in
Faisal,
Pakistan.
1,000 years perhaps? Yes,
No,
sir.
I tell you what. Policing is not the issue. The system by itself has maybe some lacunas, some issues, but for the most part, there's nothing wrong with the system. It's the people sitting behind the system. Like the way they say it's not the gun, it's the people behind the gun, which matters. Over the 50 years of politicization of institutions,
Right.
the men behind the guns have rotted. I have suggested to the Prime Minister of Pakistan that at one point Musharraf went into, he got involved into pointing out and those ghost schools, and he had a survey conducted. And as a result of that, the Pakistan Army conducted that survey, and those ghost schools were exposed. As a result, billions worth of money was saved, and since the schools never existed there. Same way, I have suggested they need to go, irrespective of police or district management or any other department of the provincial or the federal government. We need to exercise a survey.
I do
Sir,
actually.
We need to exercise a survey where we should get a list of those who are corrupt people,
Yeah.
to be very simple.
Okay.
Revisit it to make sure that nobody is victimized. Once that list is completed, from grade 5 to grade 16,
Yeah.
we should go straightly and announce those vacancies,
Okay.
get the new blood, the new educated and
No,
young blood
I
people.
totally get it at that point. It is a good idea. Let
Sure.
me give it to you. But I am sure that the insightful person that you are, you must appreciate what I am talking about. That when you are talking about local government and you are actually celebrating, you are actually praising the government for
Sure.
it. You see my point that two critical services are not devolved to the people that you are trying to empower.
Sir, that's not the issue. The issue is the implementation of the law.
Yeah.
Okay, the implementation of the law can be either through a political head or through the administrative head.
Yeah.
In either way, it can work, but if the specific person who's performing those duties is ill-intended, how can you expect good results out of them regardless he's sitting, I mean, he's answerable to a politician or administrator?
If I'm, sir, if I'm one of the most honest policemen of the country, right?
Sure.
And then I'm egoistic as well. And a mayor approaches me and says that here there might be a law and order situation and you have to do something about it. And I say, I don't answer to you. What will you do about that
No,
situation?
I tell you, when I say honest, honest does not mean a person who does not take money. Honest means you have to be honest to your job. You have to be responsible and you have to respond to the cause. Like if some incidents takes place,
Right.
the person has to respond to that. That is also part of honesty. Honesty is not just I don't take money, so I'm.
No, if I say that you'll have to, sir, you'll have to talk to the IG police, he will have to then instruct me to do
I
something
think
about
the
it.
days are gone when the IGs or
No,
the police
but-
people were that much arrogant. Now, when
Arrogance is not an
Sir,
issue.
may
I
I
might be
just-
fired by the IG
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm taking orders from the
but
mayor.
you're forgetting very important point that media is there. If somebody is
Media is not a
yeah,
media is
very
not an
influensive,
elected body,
but it's
right?
very
It
influensive.
cannot be
If-
accountable to the
if-
people the way they are.
If there is a big matter of concern with the people and police is not cooperating, then you can go to the media, then police will definitely cooperate.
Yeah, but
Most of
that-
the cases you
I
have
mean,
seen that
I thought that we
when
were trying
media
to
has raised-
simplify the
Sir,
system.
When
Sir,
media
we are
has raised
simpli-
any point,
I'm sorry to,
that has been sorted out.
Sir,
I'm trying to simplify it. Like we have to evolve a system. This was my whole matter of discussion was, the point of discussion was that we have to evolve a system where the accountability is deliverance based. If he's not delivering, he got to go. And for that, the way I mentioned, one way is to go about it is to point out those people who are inefficient, who are corrupt, who are,
I'm
and
glad
then-
that you have added one more caveat, and that is inefficient.
You're
Because
right.
there are many people who might be very
Honest, but
honest,
yes.
but
But
they
they're not
can't do
capable.
anything.
So deliverance
There-
based.
There's a very important thing I want to
Remember,
mention
you
here.
have to talk about money as well.
I will do. You know, we have expectations from police. We have expectations from so many administrative authorities, assistant commissioners, deputy commissioners, and all of them.
Why?
You know, we have expectations from
Why?
them, but at the same time, we don't deliver to them what they expect
Okay.
from us. You know what they deserve from us. They have a lifestyle. They have to go
No, but they're
along with
not
the things.
answerable to you, right? How are they answerable to you?
They,
You elect-
you know,
you
that's
elect
that's
an
what the
assembly.
system he was talking
No,
about.
you,
A system would
no, you
ensure-
elect an assembly at the provincial level that elects a CM. CM Punjab is the most populous province of the country. The CM hardly has time. He doesn't even know you and I exist.
Exactly.
And he sits in Lahore and he functions through bureaucracy. Now bureaucracy has IG police. It has other commissioners, others. What exactly happens at my tier, your tier? That is a concern. If the person is answerable to an executive that is not elected, that becomes a problem. If he is to a chief executive who is representative of you and me, then things change.
ultimately.
But money is one thing. If you are going to talk about a local government, you have to start empowering it as well. So what are the modalities of that? Do you think that the local governments are going to generate all the revenue, or we are talking about some kind of provincial finance award as well?
First of all, they would need a serious teaching or serious mentoring on how to collect revenues.
Okay.
They need training.
And who will mentor them?
Of course, the government.
Which government?
The government, the provincial government, every province, they have to actually make sure that the
You are saying this on a day when we heard the statement that provinces have the capacity issue in collecting revenues.
Exactly.
So they are going to shift the same inefficiency.
And I think the MLA, the MLA was talking about the very questions that they want to address these questions, that there is a sort of like the system is missing somewhere, and they have to fill it up.
When you talk about Ibrahim Khan Sahab, and it is something that is personal, He left abroad. He was quite successful there. Came here for the love of this country, and he is committed, right? And you also, maybe you as well. Okay,
All of us.
me
too.
but he is a representative. So I understand when you all are talking about changing the system, you have love in your heart. The concern is you have to start working a system as well.
Exactly.
While we are talking about a system, we have to talk about its modalities,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't actually create more problems, it solves them.
It doesn't collapse even.
Yeah. Remember that Teen Bata Teen used to be, or something like that, an old skit comedy in which a bureaucrat says that we have done away with the paperwork.
Yeah.
And they used to say, okay, then how do you approach things? Said, no, it's okay. When we did away with the papers, we made 3 copies of each. So we have the papers, but we have done away with the paperwork. You don't add to the burden, you reduce it. And this kind of crisscrossing and not defining the functions of powers might actually create more problems. This is what I think.
Sir, powers are defined, very well defined, the way he said earlier that the portal system. The same way the Chief Minister will have the portal system, where he'll be directly receiving the reports of incidents of policing from different districts, and he'll be asking the DPOs or the district head of that police,
Okay.
what have you done about this particular incident or the complaint?
The CM will be doing that.
The CM will be doing that.
Or the CM task force will be doing that, yeah.
No, sir, the CM will be directly asking the IG. And because why do we have IG? IG is there to be responsible for his force. So CM will be asking, but getting direct information from the people.
CM to IG, right? Now, please.
Right.
Next. Yeah.
And IG to the regional police officer to the district police officer, to the SHO.
Okay.
And
5 tiers already.
5 tiers already. And in the process, but at the same time, when he is in touch with these 5 tiers, he is directly receiving information from the public too. So this is what he has, a handful of those information, then he can instruct the IG and down below the tier accordingly, like how to, the issues should be resolved, and if it is not being resolved, then somebody has to be answerable for that. And this is how how these things are going to work.
I get your point, but then I will have a difficulty in calling it a local police system, right? It will be a local government minus policing powers. And allow me to actually quote one Urdu sher, if you allow me. Mana ke taghaful na karoge, lekin खाक हो जाएंगे हम, तुमको खबर हो देता. Till the time you get informed, we would have been burned to death, right?
Exactly.
So this is
But
not
why
true.
are you, I'm surprised that why
But
are you
this is
so
not-
concerned that police will not be cooperating
No.
with the local
No,
government
that is
system?
that is not the problem. It is police's job to cooperate with every citizen.
Every citizen,
But they
yeah.
are not actually answerable when it comes to on paper, right? And to make them answerable to your chosen elected representative, you have to create a bill or some kind of provision that they are answerable to them. And that will happen when they know who their boss is. If it is going to be IG, then they are not answerable to you and I. It's as simple as that.
Otherwise, there
can
would
I-
be
Sure.
you
Can
know,
I add-
imbalance between
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
So this is one aspect that I wanted
can
to
I
point.
add one thing?
So.
Being a MNA, I'm a legislator.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with, but I am concerned about my constituency, right? I see an incident take place, and nothing is being done about it. I do talk to the concerned authorities. I do talk to the regional police officer or the CPO or the DPO concerned, like get into it and find out the truth, and the culprit should be taken to task.
So,
At the same time, if the SHO, who's the main player of the whole game on a local level, if he's not doing his job well, then you need to be patient and wait for the time when you get those people who were forced to bribe him and take them as evidence to the district police officer, okay, these are the people, and here is the evidence, and here is the recording, and here is the money taking.
And,
And they're left with nothing
now
but
that
to,
you have actually defined the system, how it works, I must compliment you that you have to play a very complex billiard or snooker
Sure.
to actually many moving
To
parts
reach
So if you're
to the top.
if you're-
to reach
And
the
you
target.
have been very
committed- if you're-
truthful now.
And that makes my point.
if you're committed, if you're committed to the welfare of the people of
Yeah,
Pakistan, and if you have been given the responsibility besides legislation, then you do make, play your part and do your due share.
Right, and on that I have to conclude because I'm being told that we have run short of time. But
Okay.
Siddiqui Saab, Faisal Saab, if you want to add very quickly, do that.
Prime Minister Imran Khan is determined to do these things.
Yeah.
So his determination will fulfill these things.
Why do you think we are debating? Because he
Yes.
must be, or his system, his government must be listening.
Yeah, definitely.
Every province needs serious police reforms.
Yeah. And while we keep on nitpicking what is happening in Punjab, remember that this is a province that voluntarily has started moving towards local government.
Exactly.
There is another province called Sindh, which hasn't even started.
Exactly.
So just one last, not just police, all provincial and federal departments need restructuring.
Right.
Exactly.
And to do that, we need more debates and a broader picture to actually see what is going on. This was today's program. Thank you very much for watching us. Take care.